Attention passionate Dallas, Cowboys. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Dallas Cowboys' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Dallas Cowboys fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Dallas, COWBOYSFANS. Let's get to the news, all right. Folks, buckle up because what's circulating around the NFL landscape right now could send shockwaves through the NFC East, and more specifically impact the Cowboys' quest for another Super Bowl appearance. Rumors are swirling that the Las Vegas Raiders, currently struggling at 2-8 and sitting on a cap hit of around $10 million, are considering a move that could reshape their roster and the NFC at large. And guess what? The player at the center of this potential blockbuster is none other than Max Crosby, one of the league's most relentless pass rushers, and a player that could be the missing piece for Dallas if the stars align. So what's the story? According to multiple sources, including insiders who usually have a finger on the pulse of the NFL, the Raiders might be willing to part ways with Crosby in a trade that could land them a third-round pick in 2026. The Raiders, who are clearly in rebuild mode, are prioritizing acquiring draft capital to rebuild their offensive line, which has been a weak link this season with a PPG allowed of 25-3, definitely leaky and in need of reinforcement. They're also looking to shed some salary, and moving Crosby with his $10 million cap hit could free up nearly $18 million, money that can be redirected toward their rebuild efforts. But why would the Raiders part with Crosby, a guy who's been a cornerstone on their defense? Well, sources suggest that after their recent struggles, especially after the November 4th trade deadline, there's a sense that they're considering a rebuild, and that includes moving some of their best assets. While Crosby has been a consistent force on the edge, the Raiders' overall defensive scheme has been inconsistent, and the team's overall performance hasn't been up to par. Their pass rush, which should be a strength, has often been fatigued and unable to generate enough pressure, especially in critical moments. And that's where the Cowboys come into play. Dallas, sitting at 4-5-1, has been battling injuries along their defensive line but still maintaining a solid pass rush when healthy. They've registered around 20 sacks so far this season, but they could definitely use an injection of elite talent to push them over the top, especially in close games. The addition of Max Crosby, known for his relentless motor, comparable to a wolf hunting QBs, could be exactly what the Cowboys need to turn their season around. Let's talk about Crosby's on-field impact. The guy has been a beast for 7 seasons now, accumulating a career total of 65 sacks, with more than 150 pressures and a win rate of around 28%. His PFF grade is a stellar 85, ranking him among the top edge defenders in the league. Crosby's ability to consistently beat double teams and rack up pressures is part of what makes him such a special player. In 2025, across 10 games, he's already accumulated 6 sacks, 26 solo tackles, 16 assists, and even an interception for 19 yards, a true dual threat on the line. His pressure rate is impressive, with over 150 pressures and a hurry rate of 22%, which shows how he's constantly disrupting plays. Now, if we look at the numbers from this season, Crosby's impact is even more evident. He's been a motor that keeps going, and with his relentless effort, he's projected to add at least 10 sacks if he joins the Cowboys, boosting their pass rush significantly. His presence alone could raise the team's pressure percentage by around 25%, making it much harder for opponents to convert third downs, dropping their conversion rate from 45% to around 38%. That's a game changer, especially in the NFC playoff push. This move could also serve as a perfect complement to DeMarcus Lawrence, who's been solid but could use an elite partner to help generate turnovers. Dallas's defense, which has already registered around 20 sacks this season, could see that number jump with Crosby's addition. His ability to force fumbles and create turnovers would be invaluable, especially in tight games against division rivals like the Commanders, who are already struggling at 3-8. A defense that can elevate its pressure and generate turnovers in critical moments can be the difference between a playoff appearance and an early exit. Now, I want to highlight how the Cowboys could benefit not only from Crosby's talent, but also from the strategic fit. Dallas has been relying heavily on their defensive line to carry them, especially after injuries to key players. With Crosby, they could see an immediate uptick in their ability to pressure the quarterback, which is crucial against high-powered offenses like the Eagles, who are currently 8-2 and looking to solidify their dominance in the NFC East. The Cowboys, with a defense that has struggled at times to close out games, could see their chances of forcing turnovers increase dramatically, especially with Crosby's aggressive style. And speaking of the NFC East, let's not forget how this potential trade could shake things up in the division. The Eagles are at the top, but the Cowboys are right behind, and a player of Crosby's caliber could be the catalyst needed to propel Dallas into a stronger playoff position. It's all about adding that extra edge, that extra push, to make sure they're not just competitive but contenders. Crosby's addition would be like turning up the intensity of a pack of wolves. Suddenly, the entire defense becomes more ferocious, more relentless, more capable of taking the game into their own hands. Of course, there are risks involved. Trading for a player like Crosby means giving up draft capital, and there's always the question of whether a new team will be able to integrate him quickly enough to make a difference in the short term. Plus, the Raiders could ask for a higher draft pick or other assets, which might complicate negotiations. But if the Cowboys see this as the missing piece that can push them over the edge, it's worth considering. The NFL is a league where a single impactful player can change the course of a season, and Crosby's talent is undeniable. Now, looking at the bigger picture, the Raiders are in a tough spot. Their offense is averaging just 5 points per game, and their third down efficiency is a weak 29%. They're in desperate need of future quarterback picks and are likely to be sellers at the trade deadline. Moving Crosby, with a potential savings of nearly $18 million in cap space, gives them the flexibility to rebuild faster. But for Dallas, this potential trade isn't just about adding a star. It's about making a statement that they're serious contenders. With Crosby, they could see their projected sacks increase by around 10, pushing their total closer to 30, and their pressure rates would improve significantly. That kind of boost could be just what they need to turn their season around and surge into the playoffs with confidence. The Cowboys' defense, which has been solid but not spectacular, would see a marked improvement, especially in high-pressure situations. Their opponents' third down conversion rate could drop from 45% to under 38%, which is huge in a league where third down stops are often the difference between winning and losing. And with Crosby's ability to generate pressure, the Cowboys could see more turnovers, an area where they've been somewhat inconsistent. 4 or 5 forced fumbles or fumble recoveries could be the difference maker in a tight game, especially against division rivals or in critical late-season matchups. As for the odds, sportsbooks are already starting to take notice. The potential boost in the Cowboys' chances of making a deep playoff run is significant. The odds for Dallas to win the Super Bowl could see a jump from plus 8,000 to plus 4,500 if this move materializes, representing a 44% increase in their chances. That's a massive shift in perception, and it underscores how much this kind of acquisition could mean for the Cowboys' aspirations this season. They're already a team capable of making noise, but adding someone like Crosby could elevate them into serious contenders, especially if they can harness his relentless energy and turn it into a team-wide effort. In conclusion, the potential trade of Max Crosby from the Raiders to the Cowboys is one of those moves that could define the rest of the season. It's not just about adding a player. It's about transforming the entire defensive mentality, boosting pressure, creating turnovers, and ultimately giving Dallas the edge they need to make a deep playoff run. The Raiders are in a rebuild, and Crosby's future might lie elsewhere, somewhere where his relentless pursuit of the quarterback can shine even brighter. For Cowboys fans, this is an exciting possibility, a chance to see one of the league's premier pass rushers don the star and help lead the team to new heights. And now, Dallas Cowboys fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Do you believe Crosby could be the piece that pushes Dallas into the Super Bowl conversation? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Dallas Cowboys. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Dallas Cowboys news.